All right, Rocket football fans, here we go. Week 4, Crittenden County, 2 wins, 1 loss, and they're going to go down to Trigg County, playing old rival Coach Thompson. We're very familiar with this football team. Maybe not the team they have had the last 2 or 3 years. You know, this has been a series that Trigg leads historically, but we've handled them pretty easily the last 2 years. And if you look at the polls, we should be able to handle them this year. We're ranked number 6 in Class A, and they are unranked in Class 3A.
Yeah, but you know how it is when you get 2 schools that have somewhat of a history.
Hey! Go!
Had a little technical difficulty there.
Caught me off guard, but it's okay. Well, like I was saying, you know, the rankings mean nothing when you step on the field. You know, I was kind of happy to be able to fall a little bit and get that pressure off the kids. You know, that number means nothing. We put so much into that number. Well, at the end of the year, you just want to go out and win football games. Mm-hmm. And Trigg's coming in with that mindset. They want to knock off a ranked team. You know, it's a good opportunity for them to go knock off a ranked team and really give Coach Peach a game this week, you know, to come back off of those 2 back-to-back losses to Murray and Paducah Tillman and rebound, start his season, get going on the right foot. And I know Coach Peach all too well, and he's a great coach. Mm-hmm. He'll get that program in the right direction. He just needs time.
Mm-hmm. Of course, mentioned Trigg County's won 1 football game. That was right out of the chute. Beat Ballard Memorial 58-0. Ballard must really be down this year. From all accounts of their scores, they're really struggling. But it's pretty easy.
You've seen the last few years they're starting to struggle with numbers a little bit more. But you know they continue to fight and try to go out and compete with limited numbers. You're just gonna have to get back to building the program over there, and it's going to take time. You know, since the McCracken came about, their numbers have gone down more and more over the years. So it's just going to be they're going to have to rebound. But I don't evaluate Trigg based off what they did against Ballard or didn't do against Paducah or Russellville. Trigg's a good football team, and we're going to have to make sure we go out and play well to beat them.
I'll take this opportunity to recognize some of our partners. Of course, Whitetail Properties, our primary sponsor for all of our broadcasts here in Rocket football season. But also want to mention Max 2 Custom Tent and Detail. They're at a new location over on Warp Taylor Road, getting moved over to the new digs right away. Mulligan's Pizzeria and Pub. Hey, they watch the football game every Friday night. YTG Insurance, call today for your quote. And Mike and Stoner's Barbershop, where a haircut is an experience. And, of course, those guys, Tanner Tabor of YTG Insurance and Mike Crabtree, the barber, are 2 former Rockets. They'll join Ethan Hunt for the broadcast from over at Trigg County. So tune into that on YouTube Live this week, too.
Mr. Dossett.
Mr. Dossett.
Ethan Dossett.
Who did I say?
Ethan Hunt.
Oh, Ethan. Yeah, Ethan Dossett. Excuse me. Ethan Hunt played in our Old Timers baseball game this weekend. Yeah. I guess that's why I had Ethan.
He's another great alum.
He is another great
Rocket. He does a lot of
football.
stuff for us.
Yeah. He's quite the artist. I know he does a lot of your renderings and such. It's online.
He helps with our social media and all that stuff. So he really does take care of us.
Coach Thompson, this is there's always something that our buddy Andy Hunt digs up.
Oh my goodness. I bet it has to do with penalties again.
No, we've already covered that on the Monday podcast.
Okay.
But what I want you to explain that there's some points that he's dug up in the historical records here, as he always does. And you can read all of Andy's stuff every week on the At a Glance. He writes the kind of the preview to every game. It's full of statistics. It's always on the Rocket football website. But this week he has some interesting figures. Crittenden County is averaging 10 first downs a game. Now, that's the second fewest in the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm. And you would expect us to be the second worst in the last 25 years. You know,
it is the second.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the team wins and losses. You know,
yes,
you would think that in order to win, you have to maintain drives.
First thing, but we're scoring a big play.
Yeah, and that's not. what I want. I want to be able to put drives together. What it comes down to is right now we haven't been very good on first down. In our first game and really our second game, we were better on first down come the Murray game, but we couldn't finish on third down. So it's not working out for us for whatever reason. We get behind the sticks and put our offense in bad situation at times. So we have to make sure that we do a better job on those first and third downs. We've been a pretty good second down team, really, the last 3 or 4 years. But that's not really a great down to have to be a big play team on, and that's what it's coming down to. We're still scoring points. We're still having opportunities to win games, but we got to be able to, for no other reason than to rest our defense, be able to maintain drives at times.
Okay, so I'm going to the defense now
All right.
on the next little next little stat here. So this defense is what this team hangs its hat on.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, we're grab your lunch pail,
Yeah.
put on your work boots, and that's the kind of defense we are.
Yeah.
Well, the defense is allowing 13.3 first downs a game, and that is the most since 1990.
Yeah.
Now figure that. So it's the bend don't break defense.
Are we talking the first 3 weeks of a season?
Yeah. Now this is small sample size for
Yeah.
sure.
So the one thing that I would say to do, and this is going to calm everybody down, once you realize, if you go and look at our schedule and the opponents that we played in our first 3 games, there's not many years Crittenden County's done that. Typically you open with those games where you go out, you're going to go out and you're going to be able to have a big night if you go out and do what you're expected to do. We opened with the 3 most physical teams on our schedule. We've really gone out and boosted our schedule this year, and it shows statistically. But the stat that matters is we're 2-1 right now. We were able to go 1-0 twice, 2 out of 3 times, and that's our goal every week. And it's always been the goal since. That's everyone's goal, to win each week, and that's what we're doing. We're finding ways to win. So to bend but don't break. I don't necessarily think that Coach Courtney would sit here and say that's his philosophy, but what it comes down to is he wants to get stops, and those first downs, the 13.3 first downs are not resulting in points, and that's big, because I think the average on points would not be far off the average first downs.
Yeah,
So
right. Opponents are throwing the ball a lot more against us, obviously. We've seen that. 31 passes a game is our average. That's the most ever. Before that, it was like 24 a game. So people are picking around and knowing where to maybe try to attack us a little bit. But that said, the rush defense, this team is lining up maybe to be the very best ever.
Yeah.
The best prior to this that allowed 78.6 yards a game. That's for a whole season. Now, that's a team that went to the state semis. That was Gage Courtney's team. So our defensive coordinator was a linebacker on that football team. So this team right now, 55.7, about 20 yards fewer right now.
Yeah.
Long way to go.
Yeah, so I challenged everyone at the end of last season. You'll remember I said I'm sick of getting the same results each year. And for Coach Courtney, the thing was we get to that point in the season where we get to those great teams and we can't stop the run. So our defense has really hung our hats on being able to stop the run, going out and really attacking the run game, and just being physical. Our box is really good. We have a lot of guys in that defensive box that really are run stoppers and do a good job of stopping the run. So coming into a game, if I'm going up against a Crittenden County defense right now, Coach Courtney led defense, I'm thinking if I'm going to win, I got to get on the edge, and the easiest way to do that is to throw the ball. So that may be where we're vulnerable. I don't necessarily agree with that by the numbers, but that's what the numbers may show.
Well, another interesting point from Mr. Hunt is that if we win Friday night, which we expect to do every Friday night,
Yes, sir.
but if we win, you will become the second winningest coach in Crittenden County football history. Did you know that?
No, I don't keep up with that.
Andy does.
Yeah,
And that's what
Andy does a great
yeah.
job. I appreciate Andy. I mean,
Second winningest coach in Crittenden County football history. Now, you got to understand, we didn't have guys with a long tenure before Coach Starnes. You got a long way to go to catch that guy.
Yeah, and the goal is to catch that guy,
Yeah.
but not because I want to be the winningest coach of Crittenden County. I just want to go out and win. I want the kids to be able to take something away from their time spent with the football program, and it's a whole lot funner when you're winning football games. So you want to make sure that you go out and compete each and every day, and when you're competing, you have a good chance of going after those W's.
Let's talk a little bit about some of our other opponents, what they've been doing. Russellville has, it's hard to tell, they beat Franklin Simpson, which was a pretty good football team. They lost to Logan County and lost to Somerset. Franklin Simpson's down a little bit. But lost those other games. Now this week they play Fulton County, so we'll be able to get an idea of what those two district opponents will look like, and those are the ones we expect. Caverna's also in our district, but we expect Fulton County, really Russellville, to be our main competition this year.
Yeah, for sure. And those two teams, the last couple of years, have really gone back and forth at each other. It's been a battle. But what I can tell you about both of those teams, and especially Russellville, is they return their teams. A lot of guys, so they're going to be good. They're experienced just like we are, and they're looking at knocking us off. They're looking to be district champions, and I think Russellville has a lot of their key players back. You look at Fulton County, they have a lot of guys back, but they lost the Kimball kid, and he was Mr. Everything for them, but Russellville has everyone back, and they're tough, and they have championship pedigree there, and they have great coaching, and he's really come in now and been able to implement the way he wants to do things and really transition to being a spread
Talking about
team.
Mikey Benton,
and
former UK player,
and they're getting comfortable with it.
Yeah.
You look at their record, they're 1-2. And the one win being against Franklin Simpson, who that's definitely a team that may be down a little bit, but they have that championship pedigree as well. So to be able to go out and knock off those kids who've been in the state championship 4 or 5 years straight, prior to this, is pretty impressive, regardless of if they're down or not.
I don't know when the last time they beat Franklin Simpson, but I would assume it's been quite some time.
Yeah, Russellville's always
they've got
had
some
those
good teams
as well.
Sure.
That's a team that's always waiting. We have to go play there this year, and that's tough to go play there. It's usually cold and rainy when we go there. It's just a tough place to play.
Take a moment to thank a few of our partners. Al Starnes, the guy we just mentioned, former Rocket football coach. He's now with Coldwell Banker, and he's always a Rocket and always on the job. So give him a shout if you have property to sell or you're looking. H&H Home and Hardware, your everything store in Marion, Kentucky. Marion Eye Care Center, optometrist Adria Porter. Frazier and Massey, attorneys at law in Marion. And Derek Myers, mortgage specialist at the Magnolia Bank here in Marion, Kentucky. Coach Thompson, we moved up this week in the rankings after beating Murray last week. And again, we've talked about this on the podcast, but nice feather in our cap, very nice, very quality football team, and got them. So we bump up one to number 6 in the Class A poll. We were 7. Preseason, we were number 3 in some of the polls. So we've been in the top 10 so far all along. And Murray has fallen number 10. Caldwell's still number 9. So we also have Paducah Tillman later on in the season, last regular season game that we will play here at home, and they're ranked in 3A. I think they're number 7 or 8 right now, best I recall. So a lot of quality teams, as you mentioned, tougher schedule this year. But Pikeville and Paintsville and Kentucky Country Day, a team we lost to in the playoffs last year up there, typical Class A top 10. Are there any teams that are surprising you in Class A that I know you watch these scores throughout the week? Anybody surprising you up or down?
Us. You go in with expectations of being old and experienced, and you just don't like to see some of the mistakes we've made early. But we're getting it together, and it will be fine. Another team is we just talked about him is Russellville. You know, getting that win, Franklin Simpson really opened some eyes there. You know, just to see those guys be able to go out and compete and get that win. That was huge. You know, they started the year out last year like 0-5, and they were toughed in. So to get these early wins, they'll be a little bit higher than they have been, and just really starting to get set into that system that he's trying to do there. So that's a team that stood out to me. The Holy Crosses and the KCDs still being competitive is eye-opening. And then, you know, Paintsville is a team. They had a big win against Hazard last week.
Of course, they've only played a couple of games,
Yeah.
But they beat the tar out of Hazard, which is usually a pretty good game.
Good program right there. And the way they went out and beat them, just physical, that kind of opened my eyes a little bit to that team. It might be a force as well.
Sure. A team that, gosh, we thought we were going to get to play here.
Yeah, I was hoping to be able to do that.
See that measure.
It just didn't work out.
I want to take another opportunity right here to thank some of our partners in all our broadcasts that we do, which includes the podcast that we do every Monday, where it's a post-game show. Coach Thompson talks about the players of the week and kind of recaps football game for you. And then we do this pregame show on Thursdays, and then also the live show on Friday night that we're doing now, and then we do some sideline stuff. I don't think we're going to do the typical sideline show this week. We've got a kind of a little different situation at Trigg County, so I think we're just going to come on the air with YouTube just a little bit early, maybe about a quarter till. So set your clocks at 6:45, and we'll just come on and do the pregame show right there live from up on the hill, and we'll be on the home side with our cameras. But I do want to thank some of our partners, Deer Lakes Golf Course, which is home of the Rockets golf team, and Sammy Greenwell is going to the state tournament for the second time in a row. We'll have Sammy on this weekend too for a live set here, and talk to him about his opportunity to go back playing the state tournament. So check that out. That'll be Sunday morning. That will be on. Johnson's Furniture, your top choice for sales and service here in Marion, Kentucky. That's Johnson's Furniture here in Marion, and appliance. Ellington Detailing, where we keep the Rockets looking sharp, and Par 4 Plastics, where our team is proud to be a Rocket. Coach Thompson, let's get to Trigg and talk about their football team, what we can expect. But I do want to remind our fans going down there, a lot of work going on right now on I-24. It's my understanding the typical way we go is hit I-24 and then go down to Kentucky 139 and come in there behind downtown, behind the school. You can't get off the interstate there, so you've either got to go through Princeton and 139 or go all the way down to the exit there, the second Cadiz exit where the Cracker Barrel's at, the best way to describe it. Free plug for Cracker Barrel. But you can come back 139. You can get back on the interstate, that back road, but you can't get off there. So just a word of advice. Pick a different route as you go. But talk about Trigg County. What can we expect from them offensively and defensively?
Offensively, they look the same that they looked last year in the past. They're a spread team. Try to win with speed. They have a big physical back. Kenny, basketball player.
Kenny Adams.
Kenny Adams, yeah, big physical back. He also plays defensive end for them, a big part of their defense. They have some fast guys. They try to get out on the edge and try to win with speed. They do some RPO type stuff in their run game. They also
that's run pass option for those who are old school. The old school.
Yeah.
RPO, run pass option. Okay.
Yeah, and then they also the little wrinkle that they've added is this little. It's more of a triple option type look from the spread. They did some option stuff and some quarterback runs in the past. Of course, they had a great quarterback the last few years. But now it's more of a triple option type look, trying to win and make defenses stay disciplined. So if they show that that's different, something we haven't seen, we got to make sure that we're disciplined on defense and make sure we read our keys and do our job.
They will be wearing black, I assume,
Yes.
being at home wearing
Yes.
colors.
Yes.
That triple option can be a problem with those black uniforms sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
well,
hard to see the ball.
Yeah, it's hard to see the ball, and but
Russellville used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Run that belly option.
but they're in the spread. You'll it's a little different.
Yeah, it's nice time.
But they didn't do it as much last week as they did the week before. You only have the 2 films to go from, and I don't know what they'll look at us and think that they can attack. I'd say they try to probably test us vertically with some of the speed that they have. Their quarterback throws a nice ball, and they protect them pretty well. Defensively, they've shown 2 looks. We've seen them in a 3-4, and we've seen them in a 4-3. I think that last week they showed the 4-3 look, and they may be trying to transition to that a little bit more. But what they do is they keep a heavy box, whether it's a 3-4 or 4-3. They're going to keep a heavy box, and they play a lot of man. So in order to win outside, it's been our kryptonite in the past, going against a team that can man us up and load up a box. So they present
Generally,
problems.
what we've been seeing anyway.
Yeah, but we haven't been manned this year, like what we'll see on Friday night. So we just got to make sure that we go out and do our job. That's the thing. The kids know what they're supposed to do. They have to make sure that they do their job, and we'll get more first downs. That's the key.
And of course,
I had to point out your record. We'll get more first.
the first down. So this could pose some opportunity for us. Been playing the zone in secondary throughout pass coverage throughout most of the first part of the season. But now you're going to get to see what we can do mano a mano a little bit.
And they're a very physical team, especially inside the box. Like I said, the Kenny Adams kid, he's very physical, and he's a specimen as well. So, it'd be nice. Last year we just buckled up and said we're coming at you, see if you can stop us, and war on them. After so much time, we really started breaking big runs and kind of really broke their will to play. So I don't know that that'll be the case this year, but we will. We're definitely going to run the ball. As much as people may think this is crazy, I actually enjoy running the ball, and that's what I want to make sure I establish each week as a run game.
Well, certainly, Murray checked us a little bit on our run game. Yeah. We had a little tougher time, but I say that we ran the ball pretty well. Xander Tabor got 63 yards, which is a little lower than he's been getting. But then Caden came in, picked up about 40.
Yeah, I don't know that they so much checked us as we tried to do some things early. At times going side to side. We ran a lot of screens against them. Really wear out that defensive line. We couldn't let that defensive line just line up, put pin their ears back and just come after us and present problems. So we tried to get those guys going side to side a little bit, and we were able to run the ball when we run the ball. And we have the ability to bring in a lot of big bodies and create walls and angles to be able to wash people down, be able to run the ball. So I don't know that they necessarily checked our run as much as we didn't use it at times.
Okay. Well, we are going to finish the show, our last segment. I want to talk about, get an injury report, and then talk about tickets. But first, I want to thank some of our partners on our broadcast. Shara Solutions on the New York Stock Exchange. Homestead Realty, when you're buying or selling real estate. Farmers Bank, your trusted hometown bank since 1899. Riley Tool and Machine, they're grinding it away every Friday, or all week for Friday nights. And First United Bank, are you ready to switch banks? That's First United Bank on May Street. Coach Thompson, so let's talk about any personnel issues, injuries, anything, any changes we can expect to see this Friday night at Trigg County.
I wouldn't say that we have any personnel changes or anything like that. We've played 3 physical football games.
If you had any, you wouldn't tell us anyway, would you?
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. You're not being patient enough. Okay. But we got some guys beat up a little bit. Braxton Winters is dealing with some things, just from the physicality of the game. You got Dylan Yates dealing with some things. They're good to go. You got Xander who took that shot. He's dealing with some things. T-Bone, just the physicality that he plays with, the way he flies around on defense. He's dealing with some things, but they're okay and they're ready to play, and they're gonna play. So as far as personnel issues, no, not necessarily. But like I said, you're 3 weeks into what you typically is the middle of our season.
Sure.
And we just got things that we're doing, some bumps and bruises, and we're gonna fight through it.
So a game where if you take care of business, this goes the way I would say most of the pundits would expect. Then maybe get some other guys in there, hopefully a little early. You never know. Trigg's been a tough opponent for us in years past.
Trigg is explosive.
Yeah. Never know.
They have guys that can do some things, and they present problems for us. This is one of those games that scares you because you're looking at them coming in 2 big losses back-to-back weeks, but they're not a bad football team. They've played a pretty tough schedule as we have to date. So this is a game we're going to have to come out and play. We can't let last week make us come in flat. We have to continue to build off that, and I think the guys are up for it. But if we're not, we'll be in a lot of trouble with Trigg County. So we got to make sure that we come out from the opening whistle and take it to them.
What about tickets? They go on sale. They went on sale, I guess, yesterday, right?
Yeah, Trigg's controlling all that. So Trigg County has Ticket Leap, just like we do. It's the same process.
So when they run out,
I don't have any idea what the number is.
Did our parents get tickets? Our football
parents had access to it, so I'm hoping parents are taken care of, but I have no idea on that. I get to say it a lot. When we go on the road, I have no control over that. So I really don't know what they're doing ticket-wise. I know that he provided our parents the opportunity to get tickets.
We don't know how many or anything like that.
I don't know a number, but I know that they have it on Ticket Leap. You can go check it out, and if they're there, they're there.
Well, so far so good. No issues. Fingers are crossed. Knock on wood. Knock on the helmet. Whatever you do for your superstition. But so far so good. No canceled games. Knock on the COVID screen. There you go. Remember, we do have a COVID screen right here between us. So we're being as safe and as cautious as we can, and wear those masks. And I know some of you, I see a lot of people around town. It's not everybody's wearing masks all the time. You get around these kids, please put your mask on.
For sure. We want to continue to be able to play every week. That was one of the things Mr. Clark was big about. He wanted to start school, and he wanted to stay in school. He wanted to start athletics, and he wanted to stay in athletics. And right now we're doing a really good job. We had a little bit of a scare in our community for a little while. Didn't know where the numbers could go, and now we're one of the examples in the state when you look at numbers as far as what the map looks like. So I think we're doing a great job as not only a school and athletic department, but also as a community. So we just want to make sure that we don't relax because things are going well and continue to do the things that got us where we're at. So that's my plug on that.
There you go. 7 p.m. kickoff down at Cadiz. The Rockets will go down and take on Trigg County, the number 6 Rockets against the unranked Wildcats. Don't forget the interstate.
Yeah.
Don't forget the interstate is going to be, or the exit there at Kentucky 139, the state highway that we normally take. Can't take that one in, go down to the next exit and come back through town to the school. So we'll see you down at Cadiz Friday night if you can go. If not, be sure to join us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. We need about 500 more subscribers online.
I subscribe.
And we need everyone to subscribe so we can cut through one layer, and that broadcast will be even better when we can eliminate
I have to go on and evaluate Tanner, Mike, and Ethan.
How are they doing? How's our broadcast crew?
I don't know.
That's an all-star crew, Coach.
They do a great job. I appreciate them going out. The only thing I'll say is
here we go,
Mr. Ethan Dossett. You played for me. You know our formations. So when you're making up these names, stop making these names up. You know exactly what they are.
And I understand he may be your toughest critic.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I was his for 4 years.
Yeah, payback. What goes around comes around, doesn't it? Hey, good luck down at Trigg County, and we'll see you there. Tune in 6:45 Friday night for the pregame. It's all going to be on YouTube this week. Nothing on the Facebook. No sideline show. We're going straight to YouTube. We'll see you Friday night as the Rockets look for their 3rd win of the season.